on to the preseason.
Start with the first game against Bournemouth.
Is there really much to talk about that?
Inaugural game against Bournemouth.
There's no... I mean, Aubameyang, his first hat-trick.
Okay, let's talk about the preseason. First, we won huge victory at Bournemouth, but that didn't really mean anything. And then they came to Singapore for the International Champions Cup, faced Atletico Madrid as well as PSG, followed by the game against Chelsea, also ICC, and then lastly the Lazio game. Overall, it was 4 wins. I'm excited. The way that the players have been playing. Yes, we haven't had the full lineup until just recently, but the youngsters even, you talk about Nelson, who scored a couple of goals throughout the preseason. You talk about Emile Smith-Rowe, you know, who just tied him down during the preseason to a professional contract. Just goes to show how exciting and promising these players are. The fact that Emery's like, you know what, or I'll give you a new contract.
It only started getting serious after the Bournemouth game. Wouldn't consider playing a conference team as a proper challenge.
Yeah.
No offense to the Bournemouth fans. But in terms of when we started playing against Atletico, it felt like the players were still rusty, considering that a lot of the players still haven't come back from the World Cup. At the same time, that's not an excuse because Atletico, on the other hand, had way more players who didn't come back from the World Cup. They have players like Odin, Jimenez, Griezmann, all of them from the World Cup. They all went after the group stages. I feel that after that game, when we watched the PSG game, it felt like the team was more developed in the sense of everyone knows their roles, despite having a lot more subs than their usual 3 subs per game. This one we had about 11 subs per game, and to make sure that everyone gets a grasp of who they're working with. That's the beauty of this competition. It gives the manager a rough idea of, okay, so this player works well with this player and that player and this player. It gives them a chemistry of knowing
who can play with who, right?
Yeah.
And what kind of lineup to put out. Completely agree with you. I think PSG game, for example, we went in 1-0 at halftime in the lead, but then PSG came back and equalized, and then Emery pretty much took out all our key players and then put on youngsters. And the surprising thing is the youngsters outperformed the first team.
Except for Lacazette, because Lacazette came on later.
Yeah, but in general, you could see the hunger in the young players, and that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
The fact that the young players could just run the park and chase and pressure all the players, I think that's one thing that I'm very excited to see in the upcoming season. All the players have mentioned that the training intensity has gone up another level under Emery.
We've seen those videos.
Yeah.
Those videos look like they were dying. We've never actually seen that with the Wenger era. Usually the Wenger era is that before a game, he's just a slight brisk walk and then just play rondo. You know, just passing and passing and passing. But this one, you see players like Aubameyang sitting down and panting, hyperventilating. Even a guy like him dying from, and you know his stamina is insane. We're happy because if they've been complaining so much about how a manager is not getting the best out of them, and you have a proven manager such as Emery to do that for them, then you better expect to not be lazy if you want to be the best.
His training methods, like punishing the players, punishing the strikers for not putting the ball in the back of the net, you know, making them do push-ups, making all the players run and pressure the ball, all these type of different drills. It kind of makes them awake and aware all the time. Like, they always have to be on the tiptoes, right? So I think that's what we need. Come into the game, already know, hey, if I don't play well, I'm gonna get subbed immediately. It's not like under Wenger era where even if I don't play well, who's gonna replace me, right?
Even if I don't play well, I can be put in some other position.
You know, like, exactly. So for me, his training methods, on top of that, the kind of things that the players have talked about under Emery, which is playing without the ball. They've mentioned it a lot of the time. These players are now focusing on what to do when they don't have the ball, and that's what we've been lacking, right? We've never seen an Arsenal very recently do that. Pressure the ball, get the ball, and, you know, counter-attack really quickly. We let the offense come to us, and then we'll try to stop them. And to me, that's not good enough in today's era, right? You want the ball, you want to be dominant 100% of the time. And it's shown. That's why we've become ruthless. If you see the goals, none of them have been bad goals. There's no scrappy goals. Everything is clinical. Everything has been clinical. This is a massive improvement. Not just the defending part, which probably needs more work, but also just the pressing part. You know, that
cutting down to the next game after PSG was a Chelsea game, and from then on we could still see that defense
Yeah.
when we played against Chelsea. There's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing much to say about the Chelsea game in terms of how we played, where we scored last minute before going into penalties. And penalties, we know that it doesn't mean anything.
Way,
It doesn't mean anything. Vice versa, in the second game that we played against Atletico, penalties don't mean anything when they beat us on penalties. So likewise, when we beat Chelsea on penalties, at least the upside is that we have improved in terms of shooters. Having better shooters, considering that we beat them 6-5 in the penalties. But then moving on to the Lazio game, what do you think about that?
I think the Lazio game just goes to show that the players have become more confident, especially the young players. Emil Smith-Rowe as well as Reece Nelson playing really well. Playing the Ozil role in the beginning, even though he's not a finished player. Both of these players are not finished players. But it just goes to show that Emery is comfortable in putting these players on to see how well they perform and how hungry they are. A team like Lazio, they haven't been that strong in Italy for a while now, but they're still not a bad team. Really solid performance from Arsenal. We didn't concede, but at the same time, I think team is gelling. The team is improving without the ball. We're still strong. We just need players like Torreira, who started, players like Lichtsteiner, who gave it like a delicious ball to Lacazette.
Oh yeah, and that was with his weak foot.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I'm really excited. I can't stop saying the word excited because I can't wait until the first game against Man City. I want to see how well our team plays their team, especially knowing that their team has been depleted due to the World Cup. They have all been good signs of encouragement. All the wrongs that have surfaced the whole of last season or even a few seasons back, they've kind of been fixed or in progress of being fixed. You know, the defense, the ability to pass, even the way we play now. If you notice all the preseason games, Bernd Leno or Czech, they never kick the ball long. They always pass their central defenders who play sort of like Man City now. They collect the ball from a wide position and then just pass the ball out from the back.
Like playing FIFA, essentially.
Yeah. You're gonna have teams that will press you, but it goes to show that Emery wants to play ball possession type of game. He wants the defenders to be confident enough to take on the player regardless of what's gonna happen.
Alright, so that's it for preseason. Now let's talk about deadline day. We have a few days left before the EPL starts. And as you all know, that there's a new rule going by. The summer transfer window will only close the day before EPL starts. There's no more a few weeks after EPL starts to get to know, okay, what's the things that we need to fix. No, it's all about fixing right before the game starts. So what do you think will happen before deadline day?
Well, Emery already mentioned that he's happy with the squad, all the 5 players that have come in as well as the players that he has currently. It's more about the players that are going out, in my opinion. We mentioned before, Lucas Perez, Joel Campbell. We don't know. Even Ramsey, who got injured, we don't know. He has been playing past 2 preseason games. On top of that, we still have a right wing position that needs to be filled. The other one is a central defender. Apparently, Emery is not happy with Mustafi and he wants to replace him with, they have several names, whether it's Mina or
Vida.
Yeah, I mean,
I doubt we're gonna get Gary Mina.
We don't know. I mean, it's all pure speculation. Right now, I'm happy as it is. I mentioned it's a 9 out of 10 so far. I'll be even happier if we get a right wing.
Like Ousmane Dembele, maybe on loan, considering that he did go visit his friends in London for the dinner.
I personally don't think he's a fantastic player, but I do think he's a good player and he will give some needed competition to Mkhitaryan, for example. Alright, so since the last video before our first game of the season against Manchester City, let's just talk about our predictions for the whole season 2018-2019 in terms of who we think is going to star for the team and who we think is going to tank for the team. Who do you think is not going to perform? Who you expect to perform but you feel like is continually going to underimpress you?
For some reason, I'm still gonna say Bellerin. I'm still gonna say Bellerin because I just feel that he's not going to improve despite having Lichtsteiner. For some reason. I could be wrong. As far as I'm concerned, Bellerin or Mustafi. Because they look like the kind of players that they just cukup makan, man. Like they just want to eat with their living and they're just happy with where they are at Arsenal. As long as they are working there, they're completely okay. If you ask me who do I expect to shine, I'm gonna say Aubameyang, considering that he's already had 6 months of EPL under his belt. And now he has way more feeders, plus old feeders that are no longer restricted, such as Xhaka and El Neni, to distribute the ball now. So I have no reason to think that he will not perform.
Yeah.
Youngsters wise, I'm looking forward to Emil Smith Rowe, considering that he had a really good time in Singapore. The way he played, the way he crossed the ball.
1 assist, 1 goal.
Yeah, I'm very delighted to see him. I'm also delighted to see Nelson and Maitland-Niles, how they're both growing, especially Niles in the sense where he's developing into a player that's more in terms of utility.
Yeah. He played left wing, right wing,
left
back,
wing, left back, right wing. Yeah.
Central midfield. I mean, it doesn't matter where he plays.
He is our new Coquelin in the sense where, okay, maybe now the fact that Kolasinac is injured, we could put a guy like Maitland-Niles to fill in that role temporarily to patch up all the bruises wherever that is needed.
Players that probably will underimpress me this season. Actually, more Mustafi than Bellerin, because I feel like Mustafi doesn't have the competition. He has Socrates, but Koscielny is only going to come in late. He has no one else to benchmark himself. It's just Chambers or Holding. Whereas Bellerin, he already has someone immediately, which is Lichtsteiner. So I think Bellerin will be pushed to play better. I don't know what it is. I watched Mustafi throughout the whole preseason and he's just been really bad. Yeah. He's still bad.
He's still bad. That's why.
You should be hitting the gym. You're not even playing the World Cup, right? You should be hitting the gym.
So is Bellerin. Because both Bellerin and Mustafi didn't get called for their respective teams, Spain and Germany. Yeah. So how is it that
you have no excuse to be, faster, fitter? Even Ramsey looks like he's more built now. Ramsey, Aubameyang, they all look like they've, gone fitter, right?
Yeah, because Wales and Gabon didn't make it to World Cup.
Yeah.
So
there's no excuse. Who else can we get? That's the question.
I'm okay if our centre backs are a little bit old, considering that they tend to have mileage. It's just our fullbacks on the other hand, especially when you're dealing with the likes of Leroy Sané.
Any of the players in Man City, all the wingers, even Chelsea's wingers.
Because we need to be really fast on the flanks. I'm not so concerned about centre backs. I'm just concerned really about the fullbacks. And yes, you're right. Monreal is not getting younger. There's still room for improvement, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Very excited. We still don't know entirely what's going to happen, whether it's going to be a flop of a season or whether...
I think personally I'd be more excited to see Socrates paired with Holding, because I think Holding has been solid. Even though he's not a flashy type player or he's not the type to go run up front, that's not what we need at Arsenal. We don't need a player like Mustafi to just run up and lose the ball. Things like that, or put in a stupid tackle, or Bellerin, he put in a stupid tackle and gave away a penalty, right?
Or whine at the ref or why he didn't get the call.
Yeah, so for me, just no nonsense. Fix that first. Fix that portion, because that's been our weakness.
And beautiful goal by Holding.
The header. Oh, that was amazing.
Header was wide out.
Yeah, against PSG. That was crazy. But yeah, anyway, players that I think will perform this season. Agree with you, Aubameyang. But beyond that, I would pick Torreira. I think he will be an outstanding player. He will be mopping up all the mistakes that Xhaka would make. Pretty much, because
or any other Arsenal player would make.
Yeah. So I think I'm really excited, and I think he'll do really well. He's 22, hungry, eager to play. For youngsters, I agree with you, Emil Smith Rowe. I think it's a question of whether he'll even get game time, because Ozil's gonna play. Yeah. And then on top of that, we have Ramsey, El Neni, Xhaka. So we're trying to fill 6 players, play 2 spots. And Mkhitaryan can play that Ozil role, but Emil Smith Rowe, for example, he's just a victim of circumstance. I hope he can prove Emery wrong. Maybe it's EFL or it's Europa League, or even FA Cup. Arsenal is stacked enough, are okay in challenging in 4 fronts, but our concern should be just getting top 4.
Yeah, you can always chuck the youngsters for other competitions. We're playing 4 competitions this season, and that's assuming that if we go through in all of them. I'm not worried so much in terms of the depth of our squad this time around. That's what makes the season way more exciting than it really is.
Because you see the bromance between Aubameyang and Lacazette. Emery might just play a 4-4-2 or something with 2 strikers up front. Both players are on form. It would be a shame to not put both players on the pitch at the same time. The question is, how do we play? Front 4 of Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ozil, and Mkhitaryan. And it's already mouth-watering, right? Yeah, it's already mouth-watering, waiting for that. And now we can see Torreira and Xhaka behind. It's like, whoa, super solid.
And then we have Bellerin and Mustafi behind.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like...
So, I'm pretty can't wait for this. Pretty excited.
Alright, so that's a wrap for preseason. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think. If you liked the video, please don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you soon.